Welcome back in our series Inside Renewable Fuels. Last week we showed you our light-duty vehicle CO2 comparator, where we could compare a number of powertrain options for cars. This time we're going to look into another transport sector, heavy duty. Heavy duty, which is much more complex, and you will see that our CO2 comparator for heavy duty, I should say the one and only I have ever seen on internet, so I think it's a unique piece of work, is complex because of the variety of uses, the variety of heavy-duty vehicles that you can find. Let me show you on the home page. You have already 5 different truck and bus options. Why? Because you have long-haul trucks for long delivery for goods. You have delivery trucks for in-city deliveries. You have city buses to go from one bus stop to the other. But you also have an interregional coach which takes you to one city to another. And finally, you have the refuse truck. All these vehicles have specific uses which require specific parameters to make that assessment. Let's have a look at the long-haul truck. What can we find in there? Well, firstly, we have much more powertrains. We have 6 different powertrains. The ICE, the hybrid, the plug-in hybrid, the fuel cell, the battery electric vehicle, and the catenary electric vehicle. You know, those wires above the road, like buses use, well, they also have them for trucks. Then we will decide about the energy efficiency levels of the engine, the fuel cell efficiency levels. We will look into the battery capacity. We have 3 options, 400, 600 or 900 kilowatt hours. We will look into the number of battery packs over the lifetime, from 1 to 4. You can decide, just use the slider. Again, the electricity production and intensity for the battery. You can also decide which number you take. We will take 70 like we did last time for the cars. Then you have the hydrogen capacity, the size of the tank. Well, let's go for 100 kilogram. And then we can go for the intensity of the fuel cell production, CO2 intensity. We have 40 as a default value. You can change that if you disagree. You have the hydrogen tank production, CO2 intensity. Again, let's take the 25, but you can decide to go for lower or higher. Then comes the usages, very important. Firstly, what kind of journeys are you doing? Long haul, regional or urban. These are models coming from the Vecto tool, the European Commission tool they use for the modeling of their heavy-duty transport. Then we have the payload. The payload is probably the most important element. CO2 emissions for heavy-duty are calculated on tons per kilometer, meaning that the more the vehicle is loaded, the lower the emissions, because they are offset by what is in the vehicle, goods or people. So either you go for a low payload, meaning you don't have a lot of goods or people in the vehicle, or you go for the max. It's filled, it's efficient in terms of usage. You go for the max, it will change the CO2 number. Then in terms of daily mileage, remember, people cannot drive for hours. There are rules. So we will go for 8 hours, 80 kilometers, making it 650 kilometers for a day. Then we will move to the most important part, the energies, electricity. We can move the slider for the electricity CO2 intensity. So if we are in Belgium, we choose 150 last time. So let's go for 150. Then we have the other options in terms of fuels. And there we will have hydrogen option, fossil fuels, liquid fuels, and also gaseous fuels. All of these we will be choosing. So we're going to go for an HVO made of used cooking oils. We're going to go for an e-diesel via Fischer-Tropsch. We're going to go for a B100, a diesel made of used cooking oils. And we will take also for the hydrogen option, a green hydrogen. What does this tell us? Well, basically, you can see here, the figures are there. I haven't played with all of it. I just wanted to show you all the features. Now, 2 examples for you. Let's go into the Belgium example, where we said we would go for 150. And here, what does this tell us? That all those technologies have similar numbers. We have taken the maximum battery capacity, we have taken the maximum mileage, we have taken the maximum payload. So the conditions are at best to compare the different vehicles. All those technologies are at the same level. Let's now take the same situation in Germany, where we have a higher CO2 intensity production for the electricity. And there we can see that the impact on the battery electric vehicle is high because of the use of the electricity. Therefore, again, a zero-emission HDV does not exist. The payload is critical, so the size that you need for your energy storage in the vehicle will be critical in that perspective. But remember, all those technologies compete, and all together will be able to reduce the CO2 emissions of transport. Stay tuned.